Hey guys, Crazy Postman here. Well, over the last week or so, I've been having some trouble with my Luba 5000. Now, I don't think it's like a Luba network-wide issue because my Luba 3000 is behaving normally, but something has happened to my Luba 5000 over the last week or so that's just caused it serious problems out there. So let's go ahead and rewind a few days and watch some of my previous videos and screen recordings that I've made of things that's been happening over the last week. Guys, my Luba is like, where is it at for real? Look at this. It's like bouncing all over the place. Whee! I don't think Lubas can teleport. And it's still kind of jerking around a little bit. Hopefully it finishes this because it got stuck doing this morning and never finished. And I had to restart the whole thing just to get this back corner. Let's check. So it started recharging at 2053 and now it's 2156, so it took about an hour. So I started this task at 1624 and it mowed until 1826. So that was basically 2 hours. And then it recharged. So hopefully it'll finish this corner. That was an interesting glitch. I've never seen Luba bounce around like that before. Fast forward a few days. Now we are in the same area and Luba has stalled out in the middle of the yard for no reason. It's locked and we can't get it to unlock. So I got my dad there right now. You can see the charge light flashing up there. Weird. Something is going on with my Luba 5000. It won't unlock. He's hit home and start and mow and start, and it just refuses to unlock. And I told him to push it back manually onto the charger, and it is just still staying locked. There doesn't seem to be anything that we can do to unlock it. We've tried home and start and mow and start. It just won't unlock. So he manually pushed it back to the charger, and I'm just completely locked out of it right now, so not sure what we're going to do. So it got trapped in the front yard, and what we're trying to do is save that pause location because it was 3 hours into a mow. We don't really want to start it over again. That's why we're not wanting to reboot it, but obviously something's going on here, and it must need a reboot. So now that y'all are caught up with all the weirdness that's been going on, well, every day this last week, every time it goes out, it gets stuck. We've rebooted it probably 30 plus times, removed the key. Something's wrong, and it's either my fault or Luba's fault. We honestly, I don't know yet. This could always be something I'm doing wrong, except I've had Luba since February, and it's never failed this many times in a row. Sometimes it goes weeks without having one problem, but this week, not so much. Hey guys, so we've made it to the misbehaving Luba here. Let's go ahead and log into the app and see if we can figure out what's going on. You can see here when I open the app, I have 2 different Lubas in there, so I need to make sure I choose the right one here. Go ahead and start the screen recording. All right. That is weird. So this is super strange. For the last bit, this has just said Luba locked, and no amount of pushing the buttons would unlock it. So that's what I wanted to start out by doing, is checking that out and seeing what is going on. But now looking at the app, it appears it has automatically rebooted. And another thing that's weird, it's only at 81%. It's been sitting on this charger for more than a day. Interesting. So let's go ahead and do the auto recharge test and see if it behaves now. I'm gonna go inside the house here real quick and ask my dad if he happened to reboot Luba. Let's go see if he happened to reboot this thing. Dad.
What?
Did you happen to reboot Luba or pull the key?
No.
Huh.
I didn't do it.
It's not all of a sudden not locked anymore.
Huh. No, I didn't do it.
So he says he didn't do it. So now I'm just not sure. Maybe it just sat in that state long enough that the Luba was like, okay, maybe I should reboot. That is just crazy how this is working. So what we're gonna do, we'll do a mow here. Let's just go ahead and tell it to mow and see if it can do this whole section here. So we'll say to mow this, we'll say 2.2, object detection 1, single grid. Let's not do an offset. 4 border lapse. Full speed. It's not long at all, so it should be able to handle full speed. And we will send it out and see if it can do this backyard area here. If it does, then honestly, I don't know. I was hoping to be able to show you in person that it was locked and it wouldn't unlock. So it's just been a moment for y'all, but it's been a few hours for me. Now let me tell you what happened in the last few hours. Now, when I left y'all, I was kind of surprised that the Luba rebooted itself and it wasn't locked anymore, so it appears that it's ready to mow. So what we're gonna do, we are going to mow this back section here and just see if it does it successfully or if something's going on still. I'm not sure exactly what went wrong previously this week, but it seems to be okay now. Of course, now that the technician shows up, everybody knows that joke. You know, it doesn't work and then the technician comes, but it works fine then. So it seems to be working fine. I'm gonna have it mow this backyard here. Now, I remembered that it was missing 2 blades on one of the cutting plates. Now, that's a throwback to a previous episode. Yes, I did that. I took off one of the blades because I was missing one, yada, yada, yada. Long story short, so I went ahead and filmed another episode on how to change Luba's blades. And of course, in true Crazy Postman fashion, everything went wrong. I don't know why I can't do anything right, but that was an experience. That's why it's been hours since we've talked last. So we got the new blades on. Everything is fine now. And we're gonna cut this back area here. So let's go back into the app and tell Luba to mow this backyard area. Okay, so here we are in the screen recorder again. We are gonna select this area and tell it to mow that. So I'll try to get a time lapse of Luba doing this just to prove that it doesn't screw up. Now I see that it decided to go east and west instead of north and south. So last time it did that, it got stuck over here in this flower bed. Now I should have shown you that earlier in the video. So we'll see if that happens again. So we're gonna go ahead and send Luba out and make sure I selected 2.2. It's gonna fire up. There we go. Of course it has the whole yard to drive in and it heads right towards my camera. So I will set up a time lapse and we will watch Luba mow this yard here. It says it's gonna take 131 minutes. Oh yeah, I don't have to show you, I'm doing a screen recording. So 131 minutes and let's go. Just about missed it. So we're at the point where it got stuck last time. Let me clean my phone off. Last time it bumped into this wall and it didn't turn around correctly. Here it goes. So it didn't bump into it this time. It went right up to it, but the bumper was above the brick. So maybe it's a little further down. Maybe it's this next time. Instead of hitting it and backing up and moving on, it just hit it over and over and over and then got stuck. So it didn't hit it. All right, here it goes. Still didn't hit it. It got really close, but it didn't hit it. I'm not sure why it had so much trouble that one time. Maybe it's just had bad signal and it just got 1 inch too close. Yeah, poor grass. Not much grass left here. It's mowing a dirt spot, but no use cutting it out of the map. Just let it go. Do its thing. So it finished this. Now it's going to go all the way to the other end, and then it will probably work back and forth to eat that gap it just made. It doesn't seem to be acting crazy like it was earlier this week, so maybe the little bug has been smashed. Let's zoom in and watch it eat this grass. It is going top speed, so it might not do the best job. The Luba 5000 seems to be a lot faster than the Luba 3000. So here I was just filming a clip talking about how the blades after 6 months physically look used up on the edge, and then I heard Luba hit something. But that's what 6-month-old blades look like. That literally worked every day to the max. Luba hit something. Oh my gosh. What are you doing, Luba? What are you doing? Oh no. Oh boy. Okay. It turned off the blades and backed off of it. Is it going to fix itself? Oh, nope, it turned the blades. Okay. So that area might need to be adjusted, but it looks like Luba was able to work its way out of that. That was interesting. I've never seen it recover like that. It literally turned the blades off, and it sounded like it even raised or lowered the deck. And then it backed up and then turned the blades back on. That was interesting. I've never seen that behavior, but that was good. Let's see if it happens again when it gets back up here. All right, here it comes. Oh, it bumped it that time. Hit the bump sensor. I don't think last time it hit the bump sensor. Oh gosh. Man. Luba, calm down. Yeah, we need to adjust that no-go zone, evidently. Where are you going, by the way? That was a huge arc you just turned. Not exactly sure where it's going. I guess it's just trying to get back on path. There it goes. So I'm just gonna have to let this disaster keep happening because I can't adjust that no-go zone while it's mowing. I will lose my progress here and it'll have to start all over again. It hit that barrier pretty hard last time. I guess that lip is not enough of a lip for the ultrasonic sensors to pick up on. I mean, you would think they could see that wall it's approaching. Oh, it did slow down right at the last second. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh no. Now you done got yourself stuck. Oh, see? It did it again. It turned off the blades and then backed off of it. And now it's going to go right back on it. Alright, well there's your Luba 4-wheel drive in action. That like 3 or 4 inch heel there is nothing for it. Well, people were complaining that it wasn't getting close enough to no-go zones, but that's a little bit too close. I'm definitely going to remap that. Now, I'm not sure why it's hitting it, because when I mapped it, I obviously didn't drive over the bricks. So, it's probably just the way, since it's circular, I don't know. Alright, let's see what it does this time. Well, let's see what Luba does here. It seems when I mapped it, it's slightly off because it's hitting this. Oh, boom. It's just an inch or two off. There it goes. Back the other way. Are you a good boy? You know, if Mimi saw you in her flowers, are you laying on Mimi's flowers? Yeah. I won't tell Mimi you're in her flower bed. I won't do it, since we're buds. Oh, he smells something. Alright, here it goes. Oh, didn't hit it. Alright guys, so I hate to give up on you, but that's all the time lapse you're going to get today. I guess I'll report back to you if anything else crazy happens. It seems to be back to working normally now. I mean, I haven't had any problems here except for the no-go zone area. And tomorrow when I come back, I will remap around that little island there, and hopefully that'll solve some of that weirdness. But yeah, it's operating normally now. Now everybody's going to say, well, you just didn't reboot it. I rebooted it probably 20, 30 times this week. This thing has been rebooted so many times. But whatever its ailment was, it is over it, I guess, for now. Well, guess what? The next morning, I got a call from my mom. Luba is stopped out in the front yard again. I try to log in, and it says, Luba is offline. What a shocker. Well, guys, unfortunately, Luba has screwed up again. This is probably the 20th time in the last 7 days it has just stopped moving for no reason. Well, no apparent reason. It said this morning cutting plate get stuck, but there was nothing in the cutting plate to get stuck. So you can see here, I can't see anymore because it says Luba locked. Anyway, so that's where we are for today. Still stuck. So at this point, I have my dad on the phone, and I'm trying to get him to tell it to go home. So Luba had just powered off out in the middle of the yard, like it has been doing lately. But he can't tell it to go home because you saw up there, whenever he pushes home and start, it gets the auto direction error. And every time I press the little go home and charge button on the right side of the screen, it gives the same error. So there's no way to do this automatically. He's going to have to pick Luba up and physically carry it back to the charging station. There should be some way to override this. You have a bump sensor, you have ultrasonic sensors. You could move forward very slowly so nothing bad happens to be able to satisfy the auto direction finding. Luba does need to know what direction it's facing when it powers on because it knows where it is in the world, but since it hasn't moved, it doesn't know what direction it's facing. I don't think it's such a big deal or super dangerous. If you hit the button, let it figure it out. So now that we got Luba back into the charger, we can hit this auto recharge test, and you can see it's pulling out of the charger, and now it knows which direction it's driving. You saw that little red arrow turn the other way. So now we should be good to go, finally. So now we're backed into the charger, and we will be able to send it out on a task now. So hopefully this next task will go as planned. I'm going to try to mow that big south area in the front yard again, like it was doing last night, but it never got to finish. But it hadn't done too much, so we will go ahead and tell it to remow this area. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to have it not mow the perimeter, since it for sure already got the perimeter, done the perimeter, and it had done some swipes back and forth before it conked out. So we're going to tell it to go as fast as you can. I'm going to kind of set it on a wide cutting path, and we're going to forget about this perimeter, and then I am going to send it out. Just a quick check-in. We're about 38% of the way through. The battery's down to 62%, but little Luba is just trucking along here. No problems yet. It's just doing its back and forths. No issues whatsoever. RTK looks good. GPS signals look good. We'll just let it keep on going, and I will check back in with y'all in a little bit. It's a bit later. It's 3:54 right now. Evidently, Luba has gone to charge and gone back out since I've checked in with it last. We are 84% complete now with 30 minutes remaining. It looks like it's going to be able to finish without a problem. I just don't know why I have such intermittent problems with this 5000 lately. Before a week or two ago, I didn't have any problems ever with this 5000. So something's cropped up here recently in the software or my hardware, because like I say, the other 3000 I have is behaving nicely. No weird behavior with that one, just this one. So I'm not sure what's going on here. We'll just let it keep going. Sounds like my macaroni and cheese is done in here. Alright, we'll let Luba finish here while I go have my gourmet bachelor dinner of macaroni and cheese and some weenies cut up in it. Hopefully Luba 5000 is going to finish here. Alright. Bon appetit. Well, this episode has certainly got long enough, so we'll just go ahead and leave it here. Today, Luba did finish that final task successfully, so I'm not sure what's causing it to disconnect and go offline. It's just, that's a new thing that's cropped up. I'll have to keep my eye on that. I'll let y'all know if... Oh, that is great timing for my alarm to go off. 1 second. I'll let y'all know if these problems persist, but it's just kind of intermittent, and it seems to be only with my Luba 5000. Like I said, my 3000 is behaving fine. No worries there, so not sure what's going on. Here I am picking up some hazards in the yard. My yard is certainly not the ideal yard for Luba to be in. I will leave you here with a few minutes of me ranting on about my yard. Thanks for watching, and I will see y'all in the next one. Yeah, the sticks are the death of Luba. Now, I just want y'all to see, this is not a Luba-friendly yard. This is, we got heavy tree cover, well, not heavy tree cover, but we got tree cover. And lots of sticks. So, poor Luba has to work for it here in this yard. I'm not the ideal example of an easy Luba experience, but I am pretty surprised at how well it does actually work on this property with all the trees and all the sticks. So I know this episode was supposed to be, there's a dead spot. So this happens. We plant and it dies. It's just part of living in Oklahoma, where sometimes it rains and sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, I don't know what it's doing. Doing a weird dance. Now I have this Luba set on multi-point turn instead of 0-point turn. That's why it kind of rocks back and forth like that. I'm not sure what the different flashing lights means. It did it right when it passed next to this thick part of this tree. I wonder if a quick light flash like that means low signal. I don't know. Low GPS. It might say in the instructions, but I haven't read those. Who reads instructions? Does anybody know if these side bumpers are actually active? Like, I pushed on it and it didn't seem to change anything that it did. Yeah, I kicked it and it didn't do nothing.